Oh, it was Linus Tech Tips video. Apparently, I was super wrong about my theory of why Linus Tech Tips got banned. WAN show.
Did you know that off the top of your head?
So I got a pack of, you didn't.
Get me on the WAN show. All right. Well, I'm not going to drop the hard R on it, but.
This is me racing out of bed for a front row seat to my life's work vanishing before my eyes.
Are you butt-ass naked?
Linus Tech Tips.
Hold up.
Head for a front.
Enhance.
Head for a front row.
Frame by frame.
To my life's work vanishing before my eyes. Linus Tech Tips, deleted. Tech Linked, toasted. Tech Quickie, gone. The good news is that if you're watching this, we're back online. The bad news is that this kind of attack has become so commonplace on YouTube that when we sat down to prepare this video, it took us less than 10 seconds to find a huge channel that was dealing with exactly the same thing in that moment. Let's talk then about the motive for these attacks, the process changes that we and YouTube need to make, and how we can all work together as a community to educate and protect each other from bad actors. Oh, and to tell you about our sponsor, dbrand. Oh God, not dbrand. Today, really? Oh, actually no, they've got something good. Stay tuned.
What's dbrand? We should do away with intros. Like, no one cares about them anymore. I think they have a good intro, by the way. I actually kind of like their intro. But I feel like, in general, YouTube video intros is like a separation of nothing. Like, it's like a continuous thought. It's like literally having a sentence, and in the middle of the sentence, you have like a really cool ringtone, and then take like a 5-second call, and then you continue your sentence. You know, it's like the same thing.
The fireworks started.
You have an intro? No, I don't. Do I? No, I don't. I have a thing that I say, but that's not that's what I mean. I mean like a thing. No, I'm not. I don't mean like a line. I mean like literally like an intro sequence, like it's an anime. The Yard, I guess, does have one, but it's usually like a random clip to wet the palate. But I can agree that The Yard has an intro.
Started a little after 3 in the morning when the Linus Tech Tips account was renamed to Tesla and started streaming a podcast-style recording of self-proclaimed techno king Elon Musk discussing cryptocurrency. This in and of itself is not a scam, but the streams linked to a scam website that claimed that for every 1 Bitcoin you sent, they would return double, complete with fake transaction records showing other users definitely getting huge payouts.
I feel like Elon Musk's involvement in crypto has caused irreparable harm. I feel like he's caused so much harm by just talking about it. Most of it unintentional, but still the harm very real.
Over the next couple of hours then, we sparred back and forth. First, I privated the streams, revoked the channel stream key, and attempted to reset the account credentials, only to realize, as I was investigating the source of the breach, that I had been completely outmaneuvered. They were back in, and the streams were live again. Okay, so I logged back in, nuked the stream again, and I go to, and they're up again. And now videos are being mass deleted from the channel. Over the next couple of hours, playing login whack-a-mole, the Linus Tech Tips, Tech Linked, and Tech Quickie accounts were each used to host these Elon Musk crypto streams until they were ultimately nuked by YouTube altogether for violating YouTube's terms of service. And I can almost feel your thoughts through the screen right now.
Linus, why don't you yourself promote crypto? Because it's a really good way to decentralize currencies.
Linus, truly, after all these lectures about two-factor authentication, don't you even protect your own accounts?
Oh, yeah, that's actually way smarter.
Of course I do. But while strong passwords and multi-factor authentication are very powerful security measures that you should use.
Oh my God, fucking Twitter, those little pieces of shits over at twitter.com forced me to turn off my phone two-factor, and now I have to use freaking the Authenticator app two-factor.
They're not.
Those cringe lords. And they're taking away my verified button on Twitter. Drew Gooden had a fire tweet. He tweeted out something to the effect, because they're removing, if you don't know, all verified check marks. You can only get a check mark if you have Twitter Blue. And he tweeted something out to the effect of like, the only value of Twitter Blue is mistakenly thinking that that Twitter Blue user is a verified user and clicking on their profile to check. So by removing all verified users, you have now reduced the value of Twitter Blue to just a badge of cringe people who pay $8 a month. And I was like, damn, that's actually bars.
Impenetrable. First up, let's talk 2FA. Not all factors or additional authentication elements are equally secure. The most common second factor, SMS, can be compromised by simple social engineering targeted at your phone carrier. Check out this video that we posted the last time our account was hijacked for more information about that.
He's been hacked before. This is the first time, two-time. He's been hacked twice.
Another common factor, notification-based multi-factor, is susceptible to fatigue attacks, where a perpetrator will constantly try to log in, hoping that you'll assume, oh, it's probably someone from work, or even just click on the notification by accident. It's very problematic, and I'm looking at you, Google, since you can't disable this factor on Google accounts. Even time-based two-factor, like Google Authenticator or Authy, can be compromised, say if you were to accidentally set it up or access it from an infected device. In spite of all of these issues with two-factor, though.
Shot time. This one goes out to all the pregnant women who are watching, and I hope it has been easy on your feet. Do you think any pregnant women are watching? Me? Oh, hey. I hope it's going well. Don't say huh. What? Just because I didn't shout you out doesn't mean you got to be all huh about it. All right. In my tier list of bravest people in the world, number 5, Marines. Number 4, pregnant Marines. Number 3, streamers. Number 2, pregnant streamers. Number 1, furries.
It held the line last night. Our attacker not only never gained access to our additional authentication factors, they never even had our passwords. But how can that be? Well, as it turns out, they didn't need any of that, which is a big part of why it took me so long to clue in and stop the spread. I was so focused on the potential damage that could be done by someone who had commandeered my SMS messages or gained access to my Google Authenticator somehow, that I expended valuable time battening down the wrong hatches. If I had watched Theo Joe's recent video on the subject, or at least skimmed the comments, I could have probably stopped the bleeding in a matter of minutes. Shout out Theo Joe. But I didn't, so I got to be educated the hard way about a breed of attacks that bypass trivial things like passwords and 2FA entirely by...
Why is he naked? Because he's in his home and it's 3 a.m. He's probably not naked. He's probably just in his undies.
Targeting what's known as a session token. Now, many of you will know this already, and if you do, give yourself a cookie.
I don't know what it is, but I want a cookie, so I'm going to pretend I know. Session cookies are cookies that you get per session on a website.
But after you log into a website and your credentials have been validated, that site will provide your web browser with a session token. This allows your browser, and by extension you, to stay logged in when you restart your browser and go to access that site again. This isn't a bad thing, it's a good thing, because realistically, nobody wants to type in a password every time they want to post instant regret on the internet. But hold on a second. That cookie is stored locally on your device. How would someone else get it? Well, that's where we made a mistake. Someone on our team, and I'm not saying it was Colton, downloaded what appeared to be a sponsorship offer from a potential partner. It was an innocent enough mistake for the most part. The email came from a legitimate looking source, and it didn't raise any immediate red flags like being full of grammatical errors.
Holy shit, that was so Canadian.
Looking source, and it didn't raise any immediate red flags, like being full of grammatical errors.
He said that with the most Canadian stank I've ever heard.
So they extracted the contents, launched what appeared to be a PDF containing the terms of the deal, then, presumably when it didn't work, went about the rest of their day. What happened in the background took place over the course of just 30 seconds. The malware accessed all user data from both of their installed browsers, Chrome and Edge, including everything from locally saved passwords to cookies to browser preferences, giving them effectively an exact copy of those browsers on the target machine that they could export, including, that's right, session tokens for every logged in website. Now,
Dude, that's terrifying. Does NordVPN stop this?
no one should unzip an email attachment. File extensions should always be double-checked when you're executing anything, and any file that doesn't do what you expect should raise immediate red flags. But then, on the flip side, I can hardly blame a sales rep or a video editor or someone in accounting for not being up on the latest in cybercrime. And I also believe that in a healthy organization, actually rolls up the hill rather than down. So there's not going to be any disciplinary actions, because the simple truth is that if we had more rigorous training for our newcomers and better processes for following up notifications from our site-wide anti-malware, this could have been easily avoided.
Wrong. Fire him. Fire him. Get a cheaper, younger, leaner version. In fact, you should do with the whole team. Fire the whole team, younger, leaner, minimum wage, people who do shit for exposure, train them young, give them 5 years, don't promote them, all right? They'll find their own jobs. Keep refueling, baby. Keep refueling. But unpaid interns, 5 head. Oh, Shake. Promotion's still coming, Shake.
As for why it took so long for us to lock down the account once we knew what was going on, that's another training issue, but this time it was my training. We use a system for our YouTube channels called Content Manager, which theoretically improves security by allowing us to dole out specific channel access roles to our various team members, rather than just sharing the main account credentials with everyone who needs to access it. This made the process of determining the attack vector way more complicated. You can think of it kind of like replacing your
Fuck, I overpoured. This one goes out to editors everywhere. They get the lion's share of the profit. They do the least amount of work, but I love them to death. Ugh.
one giant vault door with 20 smaller doors, any one of which realistically still gets you into the vault. Now, in a perfect world, these smaller doors should have been restricted with less access than we configured, but hindsight is 2020, or at least I hope it is. The bottom line is that our disaster response processes need to improve, because I realized at 3 whatever in the morning, shout out Steve from Gamers Nexus for the wake up call, by the way, that I actually didn't know how to reset the passwords and the access control across all of these channels in Channel Manager. And that is not the sort of thing that you want to be troubleshooting butt naked in the wee hours of the morning in the middle of a crisis.
Oh, he is butt naked.
In fairness to me, the way that Google handled
Shot counter? I mean, the shot counter is easily accessible. It's just 6, right? It's every 5 minutes. I can throw one on screen. Yeah, I'll throw one on screen. I'm down. 6.
handles the intermingling of all their services is not the most intuitive, and both Yvonne and I experienced numerous glitches and timeouts that prevented us from effectively using these tools even once we did figure out how to use them, which leads us nicely then into the next part of our discussion.
No, it's 5. Oh shit, I'm drunk. There it is.
I've owned what I did wrong, and now it's time to talk about Google. To their credit, I heard back that someone was aware and working on it at the highest levels within about half an hour of reaching out to my YouTube rep. And they have seemingly improved their internal tools for managing this sort of thing a lot since the last time around. They've got forms you can fill out, and the partner reps that we've worked with seem to genuinely care. Shout out MC, I'm so sorry this spoiled your spa day. However,
that's funny. I don't know why that's funny, but that's funny. Just throwing up a heart.
MC, I'm so sorry this spoiled your spa day.
It's such a bad heart. I think it's because it's such a bad heart, but the intention is so sweet. The heart is just so off.
However, this entire process has been pretty opaque. Other than we're aware and working on it, the internal team doesn't seem to even be allowed to communicate with creators directly.
Check out check out PewDiePie's Twitch right now. PewDiePie.
Literally thinking.
Yeah, use it.
Oh shit!
Oh, I hit my toe on the spike. Seriously?
Come on. What's up?
Hey.
No, why me?
This is just an old ass video of him.
How's it going, bros? Today I'm.
And it says click here for proof. And then it's just his old video. Link in the description. What? Infinity stream. Not a hack. By popular request, you can watch my videos forever on loop. Oh, that makes sense. I guess it's just a secondary source of income. You just run all of your videos on a loop, and then you run ads on those videos. Yeah. All right, that's fine. No, it's hacked 100%. Is it? What's the hack? The hack is running videos with zero scam? I think it's legit. What the hell would the hack be? If it's a hack, it's a pretty lame-ass hack.
I mean, I get it. Security aside, idiot users probably won't have anything to contribute.
I just realized a few days ago I never asked for mogul money pay, but I think I've missed my time frame. No, you haven't missed your time frame, Prezzo. Typical editors always going for their lion's share of the profit without doing any fucking work.
To their investigation, they figured out that the attack
Prezzo, just DM me.
came from one of our non-video
Timer? No, we're good.
production teams pretty quickly, and then actually banned that Google Workspace account almost immediately. I mean, realistically, idiot users could just slow them down, but even a quick, hey, I know you're stressed, here's what's going on, and here's how we can keep this from spreading, would almost certainly have calmed my nerves and saved all of us some work by keeping TechLinked and TechQuickie in our hands. And another big problem is that this approach, one-on-one, only benefits larger channels like ours. I've seen quite a few people, rightly, express some resentment that we were able to get this resolved so quickly when their favorite niche creator X or Y struggled with it for an extended period of time or even never got it fully resolved. So it's clear that there are some changes that need to be made, and here are a few of them in no particular order. We need greater security options for key channel attributes. I mean, how can you change the name of a channel without having to re-enter your password and your two-factor? What about resetting a stream key? Same deal in my opinion. And this is just one.
Disagree on that point. Maybe, I don't know. Resetting a stream key is pretty standard, but maybe it's fine, I guess. You don't reset that often.
Of the ways that the impact of a session hijacking can be limited. Rate limiting is also widely used in API access to services like YouTube. For example, Google will only process a certain number of comment moderation actions per day through their API.
True.
Well, I could see implementing something similar, even if you are directly accessing the service, but then rather than limit it outright, it could prompt for authentication. To be clear, I'm not saying every time you delete a video, it should ask for your password, but say if you were trying to delete 10 or 100 or 1,000 videos at a time, a little are you sure about that? Are you actually you?
That's what I
Would
said.
probably be in order.
That's what I said.
The funny thing is that none of that stuff would even be necessary with proper security policies on session tokens. The bare minimum would be time-based expiry. You know how when you boot up an old smartphone, all your accounts are usually logged out? Session expiry. But many sites also factor in other attributes like location. So if you were to suddenly try to access a site or service from Antarctica, you should be prompted to log in again.
True.
These measures are very common on high-risk websites like online banking.
Dude, my fucking Hulu account, that dumbass Hulu account, if I drive down the street and I try to log in, it's like, you're in a new location. You have to log in again. Are you sure you want to change your address? You've already changed it one time. If you change it 2 more times, you'll never be able to change it again. That shit molds me. But I imagine it'd be pretty valuable for a YouTube account, at least to log in. Don't limit the amount you can do, but...
I'm not saying banks are model citizens when it comes to login security, but they do usually invalidate sessions in a matter of minutes. But can you remember the last time Instagram or Snapchat asked you to log in again? Social media platforms, YouTube, excuse me, tend to be a lot less aggressive since they want to make using their platforms as frictionless as possible.
I would fucking hate to have to log in every, 2 months. Sometimes a website, you ever get a website that logs you out and they're like, hey, it's been 6 months, time to change your password. And they log you out and they make you change your password. I fucking hate when they do that. I hate when they do that. I think it's smart. I understand that. I think I'm a rational consumer and I understand that is a smart thing to do. And it only secures me more. Fuck them. Fuck them. Because all I'm trying to do is swap between 2 passwords that I have stored in my head. All right? Nowadays, it's different. Most of my big shit, I use some random automated password, but that's what I used to do. Just got 2 passwords and swap it.
Now, in fairness, Google does usually require re-authentication when you're changing a password.
Can you watch a video about Nux Taku getting shadow banned on YouTube? He has 2.5 million subs, is not getting pushed by the algorithm, but his alt is getting pushed. He proved it by putting the same video on each channel. Could take a look.
Or other security options, or I don't know, when a session token gets reused by a new IP address on the other side of the freaking planet. But we've heard from multiple people that this isn't always the case. So the big question is that with Google owning the whole chain here, like start to finish, really, including the bloody web browser, how is this crap not only still possible, but so prevalent? It's time for them to not just ask these questions internally, but come up with real answers for them. I think the only group whose response here was perfect was our community. And no, this is not like standing on stage, yeah, I love you guys, and what. You guys were amazing. Prominent members of our forum, whom I've interacted with over the years, reached out to my team directly. Upstanding citizens were paying real money out of their own pockets to send super chats warning stream viewers that the channel was hijacked. And over 5,000 of you in the last 12 hours alone subscribed to floatplane.com to show your support and to ensure that you wouldn't miss any of our uploads. I have had a pretty rough day, a pretty long day, but you know what? It's also been amazing to see how fast we can bounce back thanks to your unwavering support, the incredible team we have here. Like everyone, we got Artie over there. Is Colton still there? No? All right, well, whatever. Andrew's there. James is working on guidance for this. Luke was up half the night with me and Yvonne trying to help us figure things out, driving to the office.
This one's for Luke.
Really appreciate you all. Our partners at YouTube. And of course, D-Brand. Something, D-Brand with me a lot. Yes, it's true.
What the fuck is D-Brand?
But the thing about D-Brand is, as much as they love to poke fun, having partners like them makes losing a full day of YouTube revenue a lot less of a concern.
What do they do?
Not a lot of companies are going to step up and sponsor a video talking about how our account got hacked. That's the kind of subject nobody wants to get close to at all. But D-Brand jumped at the chance to help us out. And not just help us out by sponsoring the video today, making it so we don't got to worry about how to pay all these guys their overtime, but help us out by setting you guys up with an unprecedented deal. For the first time ever, D-Brand is offering a site-wide deal for LTT viewers. Just go to, really guys? shortlinus.com, and you will save 15% on any order.
He is pretty short. I seen him in real life. He's pretty short. Like it was like, hello, Mr. Tech Tips. How you doing? It's kind of like that.
Using code.
And that's me saying that.
5foot1. That's one word, all one word. FIVEFOOTOWNE. We really couldn't do it without all of you. Thanks to you.
This feels like an outro that would be on a late night show. And it's like Jimmy Kimmel. And he's like, hit the subscribe button. Seriously. My name's Jimmy Kimmel.
My team, and yes, even D-Brand. We'll have them linked down below.
All right. You know what he is right about? I mean, a lot of what he said is right. But what I find to be very fucked up with YouTube is how unregulated live streams are. I feel like most live streams aren't even live streams. I feel like there should be some difference between live streams and just like scam videos or videos for kids being played on loop. You know what I mean? I don't know. Shit just throws me off. Like right now, if we go and we look at the most viewed videos, this is in the top 10. It's the 8th most viewed live stream. It's just a bunch of videos on loop for kids. This is not a live stream. Which is not like in itself a scam, obviously. But it does feel like it should be under some sort of different classification. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like being with Paw Patrol. This one for sure is illegal. It's got to be illegal. No way you're allowed to just be streaming Paw Patrol. 6ix9ine is missing. You've used all your info. Really? All right. Well, GG. Nice website, buddy.